Intendezza Mona Lisa, Mona Lisa,
あやや
ラビンク
Oh, I don't even know. Oh. Okay, I'm a little low energy right now. I want to record a video, but I'm having a hard time figuring out where to start. But I'm just gonna start. So, something that happened to a lot of millennials is that we went through our childhoods kind of being told something, and it wasn't anything super specific. It's just this kind of vague concept of what the future will look like. And a lot of it was mirrored off of like how our parents acted, what our parents had. A lot of it was taught, like our environment and our culture around us, the things that we see in movies, the things that we're told that we should want, and the things that we're kind of told that we are working towards. Why am I even doing this whole life thing in the first place? Not to get all philosophical and everything. I had this idea when I was a kid. Sometime in the future, I'm going to have a house, and I'm going to have kids, and like a wife, and it was all super vague, but I'm gonna be in a place that my parents are in. And a lot of things happened between the ages of 1 and 8 and 9. And then 8 and 9 and 2 decades later to where I am now. That have muddied the water and changed that idea of what the future even should look like for me. Aimless is an understatement for how I would describe what I felt going into high school and college, even in some ways now. But, you know, a lot of different things happened to me that kind of destroyed that idea of like what the future exactly is even supposed to look like, the things that I should be working towards. What even working towards those things is. Is it having a job? Is it bettering my understanding of myself? Is it being a better religious student to God? These are things that I just didn't know. Am I supposed to do this or that? And nobody really had like a way to tell me where to go or how to do it because of the things that I was dealing with as a kid. And a lot of the things that I was dealing with as a kid, I didn't even know I was dealing with. I just thought it was normal. Like, this is just life. It's normal to be a mixed kid in a school full of white kids. It's normal to wear cute clothes and act girly. It was normal for me to want to do those things and think that they were gross or bad and make myself feel ashamed for it. But as I kept getting older and older, I realized a lot of the things that I want to do are the exact opposite of what my parents are trying to drill into me. And all the things that made me hate myself were all things that the world around me and my parents were saying, yes, good, do that. I was kind of presented with, you know, no options. It was either like, do these things you hate, to what end, ? Or do the things that feel good, that nobody has an outline for how to do it, and everybody that you know won't like you for doing it. I kept trying. Go to school, be as white as possible, be a boy, be religious. But a lot of stuff happened that broke me down. And all that is for a different video. But what I want to talk about now is it feels like I've been dealing with what my perception of my surroundings' expectations for me are, and how all of doing any of that makes me want to just, none of it seemed fun or fulfilling. in any way possible. Or I could do the things that make me happy and help me learn about myself. One of them was dropping out of school. It's not that I don't love learning, it's just that the education system just wasn't for me. And exploring gender stuff. It's a super basic way to put it, but I did that. I'm still doing that. Exploring other ways of thinking about the world and not being religious, because it's just not for me. You know, I've been dealing with all of that stuff, and it's been tough. And now I'm like at this point where all of it isn't past me, for sure. Like, for sure, not all of it is past me. But I do feel like I'm at a point where I'm not letting it all control me. It isn't the dominating factor of my life anymore. Really, what I'm doing now is I'm like, well, now what? The world is there for me now. I have, you know, I've been doing all this work this whole time to build up a foundation for myself that I can stand on, that I made, that I'm comfortable with, and that I like, so that I can live my life. And I didn't really know I was doing that until I realized that I am standing on it. It's not all downhill from here. I still have life to live. That statement, I'm alive and I have life to live, used to terrify me. And now it's like, oh, there's like hope in that. Now my life is like kind of starting. And in a lot of ways, it feels like when you're playing a game, like a JRPG or something, and you get to the end, and you're like, damn, that was my favorite game. I loved that game. And then the game is like New Game Plus, and you're like, you get these power-ups, extra dungeons or content, new characters, new skills, unlock a new difficulty mode, new bosses, just a bunch of extra stuff. And it feels like that's what I'm at now. You get to the end of the game and you just kind of feel like, especially if it's like a narrative-based game, you're like, I feel empty. Until you realize that there's ways to engage with the game. And for a moment, I saw the void. I'll talk about it at some point, I'm sure, but it's a lot. It's for a different time. Now I'm like, yo, I'm New Game Plus. I'm so happy. And I know it's not going to be super easy from now on. Compared to what I was dealing with before, fundamentally questioning like why I'm here, how I'm here, what do I do now? There was this one time where I was having a really hard time with my life, I'll just say. And I was basically, you know, it was like a 2-week period where I was just like crying all the time. Good times, super fun. And I was on Discord with my friend Grant, and I remember it was like 6 a.m. My sleep schedule was fucked. He was like, you going to bed anytime soon, bud? And I was like, you know, I'm just having a really hard time, like. And I was like kind of talking to him about it, and he said something, and it's gonna stick with me forever. Like, sometimes that happens with friends where they just say something, and it's just like, I'm gonna be like 85. I'm gonna be like, and he said to me, shit, all right, you got bigger things to deal with than sleep. And I was like, wow, I really do. Because at that time, I was making myself feel like such shit for not sleeping, not being productive. And it was like just it just like sliced the veil of like all of my shame and guilt. I was holding myself back from just letting myself be sad. It wasn't enough for me to just be having a hard time. I had to make myself feel like shit and feel shame and guilt for having a hard time. It's never enough for me. I always need layers to my anguish, apparently. Yeah, I really did have a lot more to deal with than sleep then, because at that point in time, I was just trying to eat and sleep. And if I was doing that, that was an accomplishment. Now I'm at this point where I'm like, I'm New Game fucking Plus, dude. Yes! And it feels really nice. I was talking to my partner Mars about it, and they were like, "You beat the Elite Four," and I was like, "Yeah, I did. Gender, race stuff, religion, education. I beat them. Now I'm trying to catch all the Pokemon, I guess. Whatever metaphor you want to use." Am I New Game Plus? Because, like, my whole life, I thought I need to make it. Make it is such a, like, I need success. I need to, have money or security or power. Like, I don't even know what making it means. But now I know what it means for me. I know what I want, which is mostly just peace and to have fun. And I can see a clearer vision for that. I don't know if even I realize how big of a deal that is. Yeah, it's great. I'm really happy about that. And like I said, it's not going to be like smooth sailing from here. Entropy and chaos will always come around at some point. But my foundation is a lot more clear. When chaos hit my life before, it was like, I have no ground to stand on. But now I have ground to stand on. So yeah. Am I New Game Plus? Am I at a point where I've gone through some pretty daunting shit and I can be somewhat content? Am I New Game Plus? Is that where I'm at now? I think I am. And that feels really good. It's not that it gets better. It's that you get somewhere where you can envision your life having peace. Here I am. So, feels nice. Anyways, I don't know if that was super coherent. I did kind of want to talk about it because I thought it was interesting. A little bit of positivity to share. So, now I'm going to eat some frickin' Cheez-Its and chew some Big League Chew and play some video games. If you want, you can follow me on Twitter. I want to start streaming soon on Twitch. And I hope you have a good day, week, month, year. Stay hydrated. I don't know what that was. It is time to be cringe.